Rapid Africa. Tia. All day, all day. Either find we, then we'll find we today. Rise up, rise up.
My Body Rituals is a vegan skincare line made with organic products from the earth. We specialize in all skincare types. We have scented shea butter and unscented. My Body Rituals was created to solve all skincare issues, especially eczema and wound healing. Please contact us for your skincare needs.
This is Africans Leaving America. I am Afia Coomson, and I have a very special guest with me today. Can you please introduce yourself to the platform, sir?
Yes, I am Taye Uhuru.
Well, brother, I've done a little research on you, and I'm impressed, I must say. You have done a lot for the community. You are very well versed with Africa and also in the United States. Now, my first question for you is, what made you want to take your first trip to Africa, and which country was it?
Well, I always wanted to visit Africa. That's something that was instilled in me at a young age. I always admired African people and African history. My great-grandfather, he was from Atlanta, and he migrated to Cleveland, Ohio, you know, like a lot of Blacks during the Great Migration. And he joined the UNIA. He was a follower of Marcus Garvey. So my grandmother, his daughter, you know, she would tell me stories about the parades and the marches and different things that took place in her community. And, you know, she told me that her father told her that we was Africans and we should go back to Africa. You know, my mom, she gave me my first Black history book. My uncle, you know, my mom's brother, he started his own Black Power organization in Cleveland in the 1960s. It was called the Afro set. So Afro was short for African. So his group was at the forefront of reintroducing Black Americans to African history, African fashion, African spirituality, you know, African language, African culture, African music. You know, they had classes on African drumming. They taught Swahili. They had drug awareness programs. They ended up opening a drug rehabilitation center.
Wow.
Oh, excuse me. And they had social programs, you know, free breakfast, free lunch. They taught self-defense. They would go to a farm. They would do target practice, military drills, you know, and different things like that. They would train with the machetes, train with the sticks. They opened up a theater, and they would, you know, do Afrocentric fashion shows, Afrocentric musical performances. They did poetry readings, and they had, you know, the Congo drums and stuff playing and different things like that. So a lot of that stuff comes from my family. So I've always wanted to go to Africa, but I went to Africa for the first time in about 2013. I had a friend out there in South Africa in Cape Town, and she invited me to come visit her, you know, so that's where I went first.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, you were woke up at a young age, you know, and all praises to the Most High for that, you know, especially for having a family, you know, that is in that sector, most definitely, because it took a lot of us to wake ourselves up. You know, a lot of us didn't have families to, like, you know, show us the roads and things of that nature. Because I'm going to tell you the truth, brother, my little sister woke me up, you know, and this was in like 2015. You know, I always knew about Africa, but of course, you know, the stereotypes, you know what I'm saying, over here in the United States, you know how that goes. And, you know, around that time, around 2015, 2016 was when I finally like woke up, and I just started, you know, diving in head first, you know, with the African, you know, knowledge and, you know, the history, and just wanting to like see Africa for myself. So I want to thank you for the platform that you're putting on for us, you know, Africans in America, because, you know, a lot of people don't know that Africa's home. You know, a lot of people are afraid of Africa. And I was watching one of your recent videos, and you was telling people, hey, don't be scared to come to Africa. They ain't gonna bite you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but you know, people are really scared. You know, on my first trip to Africa, you know, they was trying to deter me from going, like, oh, they gonna kidnap you. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you got 2 cell phones, you know, just basically trying to make it seem like, you know, I ain't gonna have a good time. And brother, when I tell you, when I came back, I was depressed for like 2 whole weeks. You know, I was like crying and everything, like I want to go back. You know, so it's through my husband that I am able to go back and live permanent. You know what I'm saying? But thank you for that admission that you just told me, because you know a lot of people don't know how to go back. You know, they don't know anyone and they're afraid. They think they're going to get kidnapped. So that leads to my next question. Did you feel safe, or do you feel safe in Africa whenever you go visit? Because you've been a lot of times. So do you feel safe when you go visit Africa?
Well, I mean, I felt like most people, you know, before when I was nervous, I was skeptical. When I went in 2013, it wasn't really a lot of information and content about Africa other than what we had already seen and heard. So if you tried to look up South Africa, it was going to be rape, murder, AIDS, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of
Apartheid.
things like that was coming back. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the first time I went to South Africa, you know, I was blown away. They had malls and paved roads. They had cars. They had Bentleys and BMWs and Benzes. They had cable and internet and MTV and BET, and you know, they had so many, you know, technological advancements that you never associate with Africa. You know, in some cases it was better. The thing is, this is almost 60 countries in Africa. Africa has more countries than any other continent in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Africa is the most genetically diverse continent in the world. So it really depends on where you're going. So they may show you a picture of a war in this country, but it's 50 other countries that may not be at war at that time. But we typically generalize Africa as one place. You go to, you visit Mexico, then you visit Jamaica, then you visit Haiti, then you visit Canada, then you visit America, the Dominican Republic, and Guatemala. All of these places are on the same continent, but they're totally different. The weather is
Mm-hmm.
different, people look different, the culture is different, the laws are different. You know, the weather is different, animals, everything. So it just depends on which African country that you would like to visit. You have an advantage now because there's more information that you can access.
Most
So, you know, do
definitely.
your own research. That's what I would say, number one. And you will find that there are dozens of African countries that are far safer than the United States. Lower crime rate,
Mm-hmm.
less gun violence, less violent crime, less mass shootings, less wars. You know, it's African countries that haven't had wars in decades. You know what
In
I'm saying? The United States
decades.
is at war every year, every
Every
decade. You
year
know,
since I was a kid.
right. So most
And I'm in
definitely.
my
So there,
40s. So what does that say? You
but
know?
it's profitable, so it's not going to stop. Just do your own research, and then you every time an American dies in a foreign country, the United States Department of State and Travel, they keep a record of it, so you can see for yourself. You go to Dominican Republic, you can see how many people died in 2019, maybe 20 Americans. You can go to Mexico, you can see how many Americans died in Mexico, maybe 100. You could go to Thailand and see how many Americans died in Thailand, maybe 15. You go to Ghana, you may see zero. You go to Senegal, you may see one. You go to
Mm-hmm.
Egypt, see two. You go to South Africa, you may see one. So most Black Americans that go to Africa, they have a great time and they make it back home safely.
They do. They do. And they also want to go back to live eventually. You know? So what has been your favorite country to visit in Africa? Because I know that you have been to several. So which one has been your favorite one?
Um, I don't know. I don't really have a favorite one in particular. You know, I'm still exploring, still learning about Africa. So it would be hard to just pick one. The west side is nice, the south side is nice, north
Mm-hmm.
side. You have so many choices, you know, because a lot of times the thing is this, the Africans that we do meet in America, they typically come from the same places. They may come from one of five different countries. They either come from Ethiopia, Ghana, Kenya, Senegal, or Nigeria. Or how many Africans have you met from Botswana or Madagascar or Seychelles or Sao Tome or places like that?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to choose. And it depends on the person. So that's the thing too. It depends on what type of life you want to live, what type of business you want to invest in. You know, it depends on a lot of things. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, God blessed Africa. And I seen that when I went. I said they lied to us, you know, they completely lied to us. They tried to keep us away, but you know what? And we getting information through people like you on this platform, most definitely. So what are some things that you would tell Africans in America about your journey?
I mean, other than the fact that it's safer, there's less racism, or I would say none at all. You know what I'm saying? If you go to Ghana, I doubt that you will ever be pulled over by the police because you're black. You know, it may be something else, but it ain't gonna be because you're black. So you don't have to deal with the racism. And to me, that's the biggest issue that America has always had. So if you were going to leave America for any reason, as a black person, it would be racism. So imagine you flying on the airline, it's black flight attendants, black pilots, black owned airline. You get to the airport, it's named after somebody black. The taxi drivers is black, the baggage handlers is black. You go to the ATM, take money out, the people on the money is black, the mayor is black, the president is black, the firemen are
Right.
black, the police are black. You get what I'm saying? So
It's
that's
your
the
own people
racism, the main
everywhere.
thing.
Man, it's wonderful, isn't it? And even out there where you were, you know, that's all you see is your own people. You know, it's like you blend in perfect. You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely,
you
definitely.
blend in perfect. So what type of language do they speak where you are right now?
I'm in Cabo Verde, so they speak Portuguese, but it's like Creole Portuguese. You if you
Okay,
understand what I'm saying.
okay, okay. And
It's like
since you,
Portuguese with a little bit of African.
so is it kind of like a broken Portuguese?
I wouldn't say broken. It's just African words incorporated because they retained a lot more of their original language and culture. You know, Cape Verde is kind of where a lot of Africans passed through, you know, before they were shipped off. You know, this is where the hurricanes come from. So this is like the last point for a lot of people before they go across the Atlantic.
Okay, okay. I didn't know that. I did not know that because I know that it's surrounded by water. It's an island. So it's
It's
surrounded
temperate.
by, yeah. I was checking it out a little bit yesterday with my husband because I was telling him about the interview and where you were. And yeah, we checked it out and I was like, wow, you know, it's an island. So yeah, wow. You know, for you to be on that journey as a single man, just to do all your traveling, you know, within the African sector, well, most of your travel within the African sector, you know, that's really courageous of you to
Thank you.
take that step out on faith like that, brother. You know, it's not too many men around the way like you know.
Thank
So I can
you.
tell that you were really raised by a powerful family, you know, and they taught you very well about your roots. Now, since you have been going back and forth to Africa, I know you do tours and stuff. How many tours have you hosted since you've been on this journey?
I'm not sure how many tours exactly, but I've taken middle school students, high school students, college students, young adults, elders. You know, the tours is for everybody. You know, it's something for everybody to see. Everybody that I've taken, they've had great experiences. So I really haven't kept count, but dozens of people. I've been to Africa dozens of times. I lost count how many, but like I say, I know for sure. I lived in South Africa for a year. Cape Verde for 3 months. I spent 2 months in Ethiopia. I've been to Egypt 5, 6 times. I've been to Botswana, Zimbabwe, Madagascar, Seychelles, Comoros, Kenya,
You've been to
Senegal.
Madagascar? Oh, I want to go there so bad. One day
Yeah.
I will. I will go there one day.
Oh
So,
yeah.
so how was the living in Madagascar as far as you know the people, the culture? So how was that?
Madagascar, it was real cool. Very, very beautiful people, very beautiful place, beautiful wildlife and animals. But it's still developing. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of their roads is the main roads is paved, but it's kind of complicated to get to one side of the island to the other. So they still kind of developing and stuff like that. But the crime rate, the murder rate, the shooting, you know what I'm saying, is very, 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 very low. 2, 3 times lower than a place like Cleveland or New York or Detroit or Compton or somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So the crime is real, real low. People are very friendly, very welcoming.
Now, when you do your tours, is there a specific place that you usually like to take your guests, or do you do tours pretty much wherever you feel like it?
Well, the tours are flexible. We do multiple countries. It just depends on where the person has their heart set on going or what type of activities that they want to do. So we have a tour that goes to Egypt. That's basically a focus on the ancient African history, 5,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, to the Valley of the Kings, the Valley of the Queens, Hatshepsut's temple, the Temple of Karnak, the Temple of Luxor. We go to the Bent Pyramid, the Red Pyramid, the Step Pyramid, the Pyramids of Giza. We go see the Sphinx. We go to the Cairo Museum. So, it's very empowering for a lot of people to see that, see the greatest structures that this world has ever seen. And you go inside of them and you see Black people with braids and afros and dark skin. So, some people want to see that. Then we go to Ghana and Senegal. A lot of people want to see the slave castles, the slave dungeons, the door of no return. We go into the Ashanti region, learn about the Kente cloth, the Dinkra printing, different things like that. People want to reconnect with that West African culture because some
Yes.
people, are more specific about, learning about what happened to our people because it's not common knowledge. We don't know what happened. So, and we've always got a perspective or a story that was told from Europeans. So some things we think happened and how they happened, they didn't happen. So it's very important to take that trip to the West Side. We go to Ethiopia. You want to learn about that ancient biblical culture and history. A lot of those prophets, they all came to Ethiopia.
They
Muhammad,
did.
Jesus,
Hmm.
all of them. So
They
some of
did.
the oldest churches, the oldest Bibles, the
Some of the
oldest
most
religions.
ancient churches is in
Yeah.
Ethiopia. I had a friend from Ethiopia, and she showed me pictures of the uh, of the church with the cross that's down there, like deep down inside the
Mhm,
ground. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I think it's one of
mhm,
the first churches in Ethiopia.
mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah,
it really got some ancient artifacts and everything in Ethiopia. So hey,
right. The
you're
oldest
great,
bones is
brother.
in Ethiopia. The oldest woman, Lucy.
Really?
Hmm.
Wow. So is it like in a museum or something like that? Like where is her bones stored at?
Yeah, it's in the museum where you can see it. It's on display. But so what I'm saying is each country is different. Some people just want to
Mm-hmm.
go to Africa and relax. You want to go on
Right.
the beach. We got tours to Cape Verde. They got beaches with black sand, green water, blue water. Senegal got a pink lake. People want to relax, and some people want to go out and party. Some people want to learn about
The
apartheid.
history.
When we go to South Africa,
Mm-hmm.
about Nelson Mandela, Winnie Mandela, the wars, because a lot of African Americans don't understand that Black Africans were fighting for independence the same time that we were. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's some hey, that's some knowledge for you, for real, for real. You know, like I said, brother, I'm really glad that we are having this interview because not only is this education for me, but it's education for the people that watch this platform as well. And I really appreciate you reaching out, for this interview because like I never knew that you were in my group. It's a lot of people in there. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when you reached out to me, I'm like, okay, is this brother in my group? Let me check him out real quick and see what's up. And I was impressed. You interview celebrities and everything. And that brings me to my next question. What made you want to interview Prince Marky D from the Fat Boys and Lil Chat from 3 6 Mafia? What was your inspiration for that?
I mean, I try to interview any and everybody, but in terms of music, I am a musician. I am a hip hop artist. So these are people that I probably listened to their music at some point, and I reached out to them, and they was able to come on the show. So I definitely wanted to, share that conversation with, my viewers and stuff like that. I interviewed a lot of people. MC Shan, Red Grant. I just interviewed him, the comedian.
Yeah, I
Um,
seen that.
yeah, yeah. So I just started my little platform. I've been doing it about 3 months now.
Okay, now let the platform know what's your YouTube so they can go ahead and subscribe to your channel.
Okay, it's Taye Uhuru. Taye You-Who-Roo.
And your name on Facebook and your Instagram too, so they can hit you up on there too, brother.
My Instagram is Taye Uhuru. Taye Uhuru.
Okay.
And my Facebook is Camp Cleveland, CampCleveland.
Okay. Now I'm gonna ask you one more question because our time is almost up. So what would you tell somebody that is struggling with deciding if they want to take a trip to Africa? What would you tell them, brother?
I mean, it depends on what they're struggling to decide to do. I mean, I can understand if it's money, so they may not be able to afford it at this time. I mean, people like me, and it's other people that do tours, but I do a payment plan. So some people, if they want to plan 5 years from now, 2 years from now, a year from now, they could do something like that. If they never left America, I would suggest it's better to try to look for a group that's going, so that somebody that knows the layout, and then you can return on your second journey by yourself after you made friends, you know where everything is at. Although, like I say, these places are far safer, just makes for a better experience. So you know how to get there, if time is a factor. If fear is a factor, I mean, you definitely got to do your research, and you'll find statistically that these places are a lot safer. You know what I'm saying? You could go to the U.S. Department of State. You could check the United Nations. They have the Global Peace Index. They do that every year. So.
So how would they get in contact with you for a tour? Do you have people email you, or would you prefer for them to hit you up on Facebook or Instagram? How would they go about contacting you for a tour, brother?
Oh yeah, they can definitely contact me if they want to go on a tour. If they want to buy my bug, if they want to see my show, if they want any information, they just may have questions. Like I say, my Instagram is Taye Uhuru. My YouTube is Taye Uhuru. My Facebook is Camp Cleveland, and I have a website. It's campcleveland.org. So it'll have the itineraries, the activities that we do. The days are flexible. You can go for 1 week, you go for 2 weeks, you could do 2 countries. If you want to stay longer than that, I could set it up for you. You want an apartment, you want to study abroad, I'll work with you and help you, put those things together.
Wow, that's great. I really appreciate this time with you, brother. You,
Thank
you
you.
you dropped a whole lot of jewels and gave away a whole lot of information. And I would urge people that's watching this interview to contact us, brother, if you want to go on tour or if you just want to, get some knowledge, get his book. And what's the name of your book too? What's the name of that?
Okay, the name of my book is called The Afro Set, and it's about my uncle and his organization and the things that they went through in the city of Cleveland, because a lot of people are not familiar with the significance that the city of Cleveland had on the Black Power movement.
Okay, okay. And can we buy that on Amazon?
No, I'm doing everything I do right now is kind of independent, so they can get it through
Independent?
me or the website. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Sounds good. Well, I will most definitely be promoting your book.
Oh,
Um,
thank.
and
All
thanks
right,
for the
peace.
interview. I
Thank
appreciate it.
you. Thank you.
You have a wonderful night.
All right, peace.
Bye-bye.
Oh, wow, wow, yeah. Rapid Africa. Tia. All day, all day. Yeah. Either find we, don't go find we today. Yeah. Rise up, rise up.